Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review Dungeon Defenders Awakened. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about $30. Now, I just want to quickly point out that I've been playing for roughly 2 hours now, and I know what you're saying, well Vince, it's only been 2 hours, this game's pretty big. How can you be reviewing it right now? I want you to know that I have 240 hours in the original Dungeon Defenders. I know a thing or two about this particular universe. I have not played Dungeon Defenders 2, however. That was more like a free-to-play with microtransactions, and I was like, wasn't really interested in that. But I really enjoyed Dungeon Defenders 1. Now, there's a lot to cover here, so much that I didn't feel like cutting video and sound all into different parts of the video. I was like, nah, I'm just going to take you through it personally. Let's start you off with the options menu like I typically do in videos like this. Here's the video section. Go ahead and pause it if you want to see this in greater detail. You'll see that, you've got your typical stuff here. Audio sliders. The music is very samey. In fact, the Tavern music from the first one is the same as this one. The introductory to this game, same music. So it's good. I mean, the music is good, so I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, they didn't bother creating a whole new musical score for this. They just took an existing thing and remade it. In fact, that seems to be the general theme here, just remaking everything. As far as controls go, this is something I did want to touch on. It's on my list to do. The rebinding here is horrible. Let's say I want to change heal to R, okay? I can't do it because it's hard locked. Q and R are hard locked to switching tabs. So if I jump down here to the heal ability and I want to change it, it doesn't even confirm that I'm about to change it. I'm just clicking on it. Now I hit X, or R rather. Now it tabs over to the new thing. I'm baffled by this. The game is released. I just want to let you know it's not in early access. This is a released product. So I can't rebind certain keys to certain things. I'm like, well, so Q and R I can't use at all if I wanted to. It's hard locked to this tab thing, which I don't care for. Another quick thing to mention that's on my list, under the gameplay, and again, pause if you want to see any of this in greater detail. I'll scroll down so that you can also pause it here. All right, and there's even more. So yeah, there's a lot of options. Great. No slider as far as I can tell. Like there it is. Actually, there was one. I just missed it. Okay, auto loot filters. This is something I want to touch on. In Dungeon Defenders 1, whenever you end a wave and you still have loot lying on the ground, it would auto sell. It would just give you gems. It wouldn't go into your inventory. It would just auto sell and you would get the gems for it. Not now. Not by default, anyway. Under gameplay, there's something called auto loot filters. If I edit that, this gives me the ability to change what is being auto sold. Now, by default, everything at the end of a wave, when you start a new one, will go into your inventory. So now you've got all this clutter to worry about at the end of the level when you're all done. Now you got to come back. Oh, there's 50 items for me to go through. This auto loot section, I suppose, allows you to auto sell some things. So let's say I want to go down to quality and I want to sell all common items. So in theory, I can set this, and now in the future, if I end a wave and then I start a new one, and any items that are still on the ground that I haven't picked up will just automatically be sold, so as long as they're common. In theory. Okay, I'm going to probably keep it that way because there's a lot to go through. But yeah, it just seems kind of odd that, that's there. But at the same time, it's kind of a welcome change. I like the fact that I have the choice now. One thing I will complain about is that there's no way, like, this filter is limited. There's no way for me to set, like, okay, this item is clearly an upgrade. There's an up green arrow on the item telling me that it is an upgrade. I want to filter only those items. I can't do that. You would think, oh, upgrade range, maybe that's it. I don't think that's what that is. I think that's like how much the item has been upgraded already. There are no tooltips in this game, and I'll get to that later, but there's no tooltips to tell me what upgrade range actually means. So I'm left scratching my head going, well, does this mean upgrade, this item will be, is an upgraded item that is better than my current stat in by 1 or by 5. No, I believe this upgrade range is how much the item has been upgraded already. I don't want to get into nitty gritty because this is more of a review. But anyway, you can change the bag image. You can filter by elements, weapons, armor, accessories. I'll get to inventory in a minute. But long story short, you can auto loot filter in the options menu. So don't miss that. There's also a hero deck. You have 6 cards that you have access to. And you can create as many characters as you want, but you can only have 6 active at a time. And what's odd is that whenever you play one character, XP is shared amongst all of your active characters. So I haven't even played... I've only been playing as the apprentice. So all my other characters, Excalibur, Saberwolf, they're all leveled up to almost the current level of my Nighthawk here, my apprentice. So yeah, that was really strange to me. Navigating this took a little bit of doing. Change hero, select, create. If I hit change hero, Shadow is the other character that you have access to. There are 7 characters in this game. There's the apprentice, the squire, the huntress, the Ceres, EVA, the warden, the monk, and the rogue. The warden is new to me. I don't know if she was a thing in Dungeon Defenders 2 or not, but she's some kind of druid class, I guess. And the shadow also is relatively new to me. I'm not very familiar with these classes at all. But it's something to look at anyway. There's no barbarian, although the shadow seems to be close to that. If I were to activate the shadow, let's go to change hero, go to shadow, hit select, and then jump in there. Now, if I go to I for inventory, and I go to spellbook, hero abilities, if I go down, it says there's abilities 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, devices, and defenses. But under defenses, there are no towers here. So I have to wonder if this character is like the barbarian. He seems to be able to dual wield both a melee and a ranged. So I have to wonder if this character is just, supposed to be the new barbarian, if I had to guess. I would really like to see the Necromancer. The Necromancer was a fantastic addition, I think, to Dungeon Defenders 1. He had his own summoning cap pool, so people could put towers down, cap that out, and then the Necromancer could put minions down, and that was a separate pool. Really cool. I don't see the Necromancer anywhere here. I have to wonder if there's DLC coming. I couldn't tell you. But anyway, so yeah, that was the options menu there, the hero deck. Again, you could have 6 heroes active at any one time, and you share experience, which is kind of strange. I would prefer to level them up one by one. I know it's more grindy that way, but I like the journey sometimes. Anyway, so here's the tavern. It's kind of similar. You no longer sell items to the tavern keeper here. You can talk to him, open inventory from here, or you can just hit I. Inventory management, let's just go ahead and talk about that here. So typically in order to sell something, you right click on it, you go down to sell, and you sell it. On the very top, you notice that there's a lot of bags. So the first one is given to you, all items, and then the rest you can customize how you want with various filters. Again, this is where the filters come into play. You can assign, if you hit F to filter bags, you can adjust level range or bag image quality amongst all of these different bags. So if you want like all mage items in the one and maybe swords in another bag, you can sort of filter it that way. But again, there doesn't seem to be a way to filter by what would be considered an upgrade, like an increase in power. It says power 60 plus, or power 65 plus. If I were going to filter bags, I don't know if there is a power one here. I couldn't find it. Again, the game doesn't seem to be very... there's a sort item. You can sort. Maybe that might be helpful to you. But yeah, item power. Maybe you can sort by that. But there's no way to filter by what's an upgrade and what's not. You can mass sell in this game. If you hold in left control to enter select mode, and then left click, left click, left click, left click, and then you right click and go to sell. that will sell those things. Now, I know you're going, well, do I have to click on every single item in my inventory? No, you can control click 1 to select it, and then right click, and then select all, and then hit sell. And that will sell everything. But then again, that will sell possible upgrades for you. So I just wish there was better control over this, honestly. I mean, this is supposed to be a remake in 2021. You'd think that they would have created some better system. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's a little lackluster. I'm just going to quickly upgrade a bit here. These may or may not be upgrades for me, but I'm taking them anyway. I'll read them later. This game gives you like that whole decision paralysis on what's considered an upgrade, what items you want to equip, and so on. Alright, that looks good. I'll go ahead and just sell everything now. So left control, right click, select all, and then sell. Selling 67 items. You'll note that in the bottom right there's coins. In Dungeon Defenders 1, there were gems, and gems were your currency for everything. Leftover gems from your missions would carry over into your currency, your tavern currency, so that you could buy pets, so that you could upgrade, and so on. There's now a difference between gems and coins. Gems do not carry over. They're just in-game currency for that level. That's it. It resets to 0 at the start of your new run. Coins are permanent, and you use them to upgrade items and so on. So if I right-click on an item, click on upgrade, I can increase my damage stat on this. I'll just hit apply. It's 2,000 some coins, and I've just spent some coins to upgrade that particular wand. Okay, so yeah, that's different for me. I'm not used to that. Another thing I want to touch on is stats. Again, one complaint I have is that there's no, as far as I can tell, like, oh, there they are. Okay, left shift to inspect. I complained about tooltips. I didn't notice this on the bottom right, but you can hit left shift, and you can actually see improve the max HP and duration of your defenses. This is something that the game doesn't tell you in a tutorial. This is something that is sorely needed. I've been playing this for almost, well, more than 2 hours now, and I'm just now discovering that there's a left shift inspect button. I didn't know that that's what that was. Improves the effective range of your defenses, improves the attack rate, lifespan. So at least now I can see what these do. I was just throwing points in here, hopefully knowing what, just guessing what it meant. Yeah, there's, again, no sort of guide as to what the buttons do until you just sort of figure it out on your own. That needs to be improved, in my opinion. Spellbook. Again, I've already showed you this, but you can kind of see the towers that you're getting. The Apprentice, there's nothing new here. You've got the Magic Missile Tower, the Elemental Blockade, Flame Burst Tower, Lightning Tower, and Deadly Striker Tower. Those are all towers that you had from Dungeon Defenders 1. Nothing new there. Even the Overcharge ability is the same. They didn't bother changing anything. It's just, again, a flat-out remake of it. I don't know how I feel about that. Some new things would have been nice, in my opinion, but the developers seem content to reinvent the wheel. So, I know I've talked a whole lot in here. Let's just jump into a level so I can actually show you the design. And this review, I apologize, is going to be a lot longer than typical because I'm going into detail on a number of things. When you jump into this, you can select a mode. There's campaign, survival, challenges, mixed mode, pure strategy, tests, and tutorial. The tutorial is more of like how to play in-game, not how to interact with the interface. I'm playing in offline mode right now. If I go to main menu, just hit yes. From here, you'll be able to either play online or play offline. There's also redeem codes. The game already has, by the way, roughly, I think, $30 to $40 worth of DLC. Doesn't surprise me. The original Dungeon Defenders 1 had a crap ton of DLC. A crap ton. But I'm going to go ahead and hit play offline again. Jump back into the tavern. By the way, the beginning intro is unskippable. When you first load up the game, it's just this loud intro. You can click through it eventually, but it's like there's an imaginary loading bar that you can't see. You just have to keep clicking until the game lets you click through it. I wish there was a way to turn that off, personally. Alright, so getting back to this. Let's just jump into campaign. I've done 5 missions already. I want to sort of show you an existing level. This Deeper Well is from Dungeon Defenders 1. There's the Alchemy Labs and the Magus Quarters. These are all levels from the first one. The difficulties available, there's easy, medium, hard, insane, nightmare, massacre. Just FYI there. I've been playing it on medium and have been having a very easy time of it. It's just almost fate. I'm just I alt tab sometimes to do other things while I'm waiting for the wave to end. That's just me though. You can toggle on Rifted. Rifted enemies spawn with greater strength and increased difficulties, increase the quality of dropped items. That might be something to consider. But I just want to quickly show you what this all looks like. This is a good example because I have a complaint about the boss spawn. It's just very lackluster. Alright, anyway. So we're on medium right now. But if you've played Dungeon Defenders 1, you'll be familiar with this particular level. You hold in G to enter build phase. That is hard locked. That is not something you can change in the options menu. So now I'm in the build phase, and I'm going to hit, I don't know, I'll go ahead and start building towers. I'll put one there. You click once to set it down, and then you can rotate it. Let's put that over there. So I can rotate it now. And then left click again. And I'll put one. I mean, I'm drawing, this is muscle memory from the first one. I've played this so many times. Like, I have my own little setup for this. New players to the game, you know, they may find this interesting, but after a while you start knowing the levels very well and can do your own thing. For you new players out there, I will offer that each hero has some unique towers. So the Apprentice, for example, is very mage-oriented, as you can tell. These towers will shoot... This is an arcane tower. This is good against any magical resistance. Enemies have various magical resistances. A Fireball tower, for example, will be useless against a fire-resistant mob, whereas these arcane towers can handle anything, which is nice, but they do single-target damage. These barriers are another great thing. This Apprentice is great for new players. So is the Squire, which is like a knight of sorts. Once you started getting into the Monk and the Huntress, those are more complicated classes that I do not recommend for new players, but, you know, each class has their own unique way of playing. In Dungeon Defenders 1, the Monk had an aura, and you put auras down. I'm going to go ahead and just start the combat phase here. In the upper left-hand corner is your gem count. That's how many gems you have to spend on placing down various things. Again, you can run around, shoot if you want to, or you can just let the towers do their thing. Right now I'm shooting poison damage, so any enemy that is poison resistant will be able to resist my... Yeah, like right there. I could not kill that one. My arcane tower there had to. Alright, on the very top middle is how many enemies you have to fight through right now. 11 out of 28 is the remaining wave. You can also see wave 1 out of 5. In the upper right-hand corner is your tower cap. You just can't put towers down ad nauseum. You do have a cap. Again, an enemy that is resistant to poison right there. You can see on the upper right of his health bar that there's a little green poison icon, so he's resistant to that. So yeah, this is what the art looks like. Now, if I had to comment on it, like, it's different. It feels... I don't know how, but they managed to make it feel more cartoony than Dungeon Defenders 1, if that makes any sense. I'm going to go ahead and put down a fireball tower there, and a fireball tower there. It's called Flame Burst, whatever. Old folks from Dungeon Defenders 1 may notice that there are no chests for me to pick up, save for one. In Dungeon Defenders 1, the game would spawn 4 or 5 chests for you to go around. This is a spot, for example, in Dungeon Defenders 1. A chest would spawn here, you get gems from this, and possibly... No, there were no items from that, I don't think. There may have been. It's been a while. But there's just one chest that you loot now. And, yeah, now you can loot these items if you want. Again, you can set the auto filter in the options menu of all places. If you want to sell these things automatically, should you not pick them up. So if I hold in G now to enter combat phase, that filter should automatically sell stuff, in theory. And I should earn coins from that, in theory. Whether or not it's actually working, it's difficult to tell. There's nothing on screen to really confirm it. In the upper left-hand corner, there were some icons that popped up, but I believe it was entering my inventory, not selling. There is also double jump now in this game, which is kind of odd. Double jump was not a thing in Dungeon Defenders 1. And in fact, it's required. Typically in Dungeon Defenders 1, you could jump on stuff or jump over stuff. Not the case. Now you need to double jump. I know it's very nitpicky, but now I've got an extra button press if I want to jump over something. I don't know, like with someone with carpal tunnel, that's, more annoying to me. Yeah, some of you are like, that's just an extra button press. What are you complaining about? To me, when it comes to, like, when you get older, you'll understand what I mean. Alright, let's just go ahead and enter combat phase again. I'll just build towers on the fly. Alright, I'm not going to bother with these back here. I don't think. This is fine. Alright, I did unlock a new tower finally. Yeah, this is like a sniper tower, for lack of a better term. I'll just go ahead and put that back here, because the boss will eventually spawn, and this is a good way to murder him. Again, I've played this level and know how it works, so typically I just put these suckers just here, and one on the other side facing the middle, and the boss goes down almost instantaneously, depending on your difficulty level. Okay, so I've skipped ahead just to save on time. I'm trying to keep the review at a respectable length. It's not going to happen, but I try, right? One thing I didn't show you yet was the ability to upgrade towers and repair them by hitting R. You can actually highlight something, hit left click, and repair it, which is nice. You can also upgrade towers too, hitting Q, hovering over them, and they upgrade. You can do that multiple times as well. I'm going to go ahead and do that now just to get some of this gem spent. I'm on wave 5 out of 5 at the moment, and the boss should be incoming fairly soon. Looks like there's no problem over here. Typically, I look at the barrier, and if it's taking damage, then I'm not killing them fast enough for my liking. So I either upgrade the barrier or I add more towers. I still have 25 towers that I can possibly add, so why not just go ahead and just add a little bit more here. I'll add some, I don't know, I could add another lightning tower somewhere. You know what? Just to keep the mobs at bay while I kill the boss. Let's go ahead and put that there, and we'll do the same thing over there. This will help to whittle down. I mean, look at the lightning tower. If you've played the first one, you'll know how dominating it looked. Well, it looks a lot different now. I mean, just the art is very different. Also note that when you upgrade a tower, it doesn't look different. I'm upgrading it a second time, and it doesn't look any more intimidating than its original tower form. I don't like that. Again, this is a level 2 tower, upgraded again. Its look has not changed at all. Why wouldn't you at least change the look of the tower when you upgrade it? Give it some sort of physical difference so that players can see at a glance what they've upgraded, what they haven't, and make it look more formidable than, you know... I don't know, it baffles. It boggles my mind why they wouldn't do that. Again, for a remake, if you're gonna do a remake, do it right. It just seems kind of lackluster that way. Now, in Dungeon Defenders 1, when the boss showed up, it would say, boss incoming, and then there would be this ominous countdown, 20, 19, 18, and it would, the numbers would sort of flash on your screen and make these booming noises. Prepare for boss. Look, on the top of the screen, prepare for boss. It's coming. The music hasn't changed. Prepare for boss. When the boss was coming in D&D 1, the music stopped, and it was just this whoosh, 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 the countdown. Now it's just prepare for boss. What do they do to this? Yeah, you can hear the demon lord whatever sort of howling in the background there, but I feel like they butchered like, what do they do? Why? Okay, the cutscene's okay. It's cool, but again, they've managed to make it look. Yes, it looks nice. Don't get me wrong, but it feels like it's more cartoony than the first one. All right, so at the moment, I'm just gonna let my towers do their thing. Normally, you're supposed to shoot these side things to stun him. If you're strong enough, you don't have to worry about that. Looks like I can level up. I'm gonna go ahead and hit I. Guess I'll show you that real quick. Stats again. I'll just left shift because I didn't know I could do that. Fortify improves the max HP and duration of your defenses. Power. Let's just go with attack rate, lifespan, and reset time. I like that. Having that is, I think, really effective. And range. All right, and of course my mission is over. So let's just go ahead and hold in G for map summary.
Huntress, squire, apprentice, and monk arrive at the castle's interior.
Again, the art, nice. Don't get me wrong.
With the demonic monstrosity.
All right, I'll skip that and let you discover that on your own. You can either go to the next level or you can replay the current map. I'm just going to go back to the tavern. Just to give you a quick, impressions. I mean, I know I kind of did a lot of compare and contrast in this review video, and I think it's warranted, considering that this is sort of... It's called Dungeon Defenders Awakened for a reason. This game is much more of a reimagining of the original Dungeon Defenders. And to be honest with you, I wish the developers had not gone that route. I wish they had created a whole new game that worked on its own. Dungeon Defenders 1 had a huge name to live up to, in my opinion. There was a lot of DLC for it, don't get me wrong. It sucked. Sometimes the inventory was a mess. Trying to, organize things was a pain. You even had, an in-tavern sell system where you could sell to other players. People could buy off of you and stuff like that. I don't seem to have that option here. I can't set up my own store, and people can't seem to buy off of me or anything like that. It seems very limiting. I feel like this game makes a couple of positive changes, but takes a step back in the rest of it. 10% forward, 90% backward. If I had to make an honest recommendation to you, I would say go and get Dungeon Defenders 1 and the DLCs. It's an older game, and typically it's often on sale, just because of how old it is and because there are newer games out, Dungeon Defenders 2 and now 3. Dungeon Defenders 1 will typically be heavily discounted. And yes, plenty of DLCs, but you can forego those at the start and maybe pick them up later. Because this game is just, I don't know, I feel like it's lacking compared to the first one. Again, it does make some positive changes, but there's some basic stuff here that needs to be addressed, and it's just odd. It's an odd design choice, and I just wish that Trendy had done more with this. So I'm a disappointed fan. I'll just say that. I'm a huge fan of DD1, and I'm kind of disappointed with this particular rendition of it. I think they could have done a lot more. I think they could have improved it to be more modern. More the user interface to be more user friendly. They could have given you more modern day options, stuff like that, but they didn't do that. It's a shame. So do I recommend this one? I'd have to say no. I would say buy Dungeon Defenders 1 first, and if you are if you've gone through all of the content there, and you're really hard pressed for more content for this genre in general, try Dungeon Defenders 2 next, and then if you're still, if you're obsessed, then sure, you can pick this up. There is some new content here, but you'll find that, well, I could do this in Dungeon Defenders 1, why can't I do this here? Or whatnot. So, you may be disappointed by this if you play the first one and then jump into this one. So there you go, folks. That was a kind of exhaustive review / compare and contrast to the first one. Hopefully this wasn't too long for you. If you guys haven't already subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube, that way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.